Imagine you're in a world where you can use magic, but you can only use it a set amount of times, and once you exceed that limit, you turn into ash. Now imagine that your entire social standing in this world is built on how many times you can use your magic. Well, that's essentially what Maburaho is. Made in 2003, and based on a series of light novels that were released in 2000, Maburaho is probably one of the worst animes that I've ever had the displeasure of watching. Now, if you're new to this channel and you like the content, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. But other than that, this is why I don't like Maburaho. Our story takes place in Aoi Academy, a prestigious magic high school for only the most elite of students with high magic accounts. This is where we're introduced to our main character, Kazuki Shikimori. This poor sap can only use his magic a grand total of 8 times. Now, like me, you're probably thinking, how the fuck did he get into this high school with such a low magic count? Well, actually, Kazuki's magic is so strong that it can bend reality itself. But apparently, despite that amazing power, Kazuki just wants to live a normal life like a normal teenager, which also makes no fucking sense. If he wants to live a normal life, why the hell would he attend the crazy magic school where all the interesting shit happens? Surely there are other schools he could attend, but no, he doesn't. His entire character is a contradiction. And it's not just him, every single character in the show contradicts themselves multiple times, which we'll get to later. But right now we're going to focus on the plot, which is actually going to be very hard for me to explain, because a lot of the times the episodes just seem to bumble around and have no fucking point. So I'm just going to skip over most of it and talk about the ones that actually influence the plot. So after the chat with the school nurse, Kazuki finds out that he may not be very powerful, but his children will be, which leads to the 3 most powerful families in Japan each sending their daughters in order to collect Kazuki's genes so they can bear his children. Which I know sounds like the B plot to some hentai, but I assure you, it is nowhere near as interesting as that. This is where we're introduced to our main 3 heroines, Yuna, Ren, and Kiriko, which I'll talk about more in my character segment. Now, remember at the start of this video when I said Kazuki only had 8 magic things left, and I emphasized on how powerful they were. Now, what I was thinking when I was watching the show was that his magic was going to be used for oh shit moments which required major action, but Kazuki's popping that shit like a druggie trying to get to his next high. It's a wonder he survived his childhood with the amount of stupid things he uses his magic on. I wrote down just a few of the things he uses magic on, and after you see this, you'll know what I mean. Go to number 1, saving a lunchbox that fell off the floor. Number 2, saving Yuna from being kidnapped, and number 3, winning a baseball game. So it's clear Kazuki doesn't give a flying fuck what he uses his magic on. It gets to the extent where the girls start to get worried about him and they search for new ways to increase his spell point. But despite all this, Kazuki still continues to use his magic. He just bumbles around acting like it's no big deal, when in reality it's gonna lead to his inevitable doom. And guess what? I didn't think it. I had no fucking idea what would happen, but it actually happened. Kazuki uses up all of his magic and then he dies. Haha, he's fucking dead. Fuck yeah, man. Don't deal with this bullshit anymore. Oh wait, there's still 12 episodes left. Well, maybe they'll use this time to put some development into the characters, which is actually well needed. But no, they don't. Kazuki comes back to life. The show fucking chickens out. He's back. Now, originally when I saw this piece, I was like, oh shit, the show actually has some balls, and will actually let main characters die. But nope, the instant Kazuki dies, he gets resurrected as a ghost. And instead of the girls trying to find out ways to increase his spell point, the new goal is just to bring him back to life, which leads to even more pointless episodes that do not further the plot. And during this phase, you might be thinking, well, there's 12 episodes left, surely some of them do. Well, yeah, some of them may not be full episodes, so you know what they are? This show has 3 fucking separate recap episodes during this. And they're all really close together. Like, I did not forget this shit. I did not need to watch these episodes. They were just pointless. I felt like the only reason they were there was to reach the 24 episode quota mark. So after a bunch of episodes of just dicking around, they find out that Kazuki's ashes were sealed by the 4 most important girls to him. And in order to get them back, he has to bond with them. Now you might be thinking, wait, 4, but I thought there were 3 main heroines. That's right. During the last 3 episodes, they introduce a new girl that Kazuki has known all along. Another childhood friend. The only reason she's in the show is to make conflict with the other characters, because when Kazuki gets his ashes back and becomes human, he will not remember any of them. But after some convincing, she decides to go through with it, and all of Kazuki's ashes are returned, making him human again. And I'm gonna let you guess something. Does Kazuki A, forget everybody that he loves, or B, does he remember everything because the show can't stick to its own goddamn rules? Now Now you probably chose B because that's exactly what fucking happened. They retcon everything and now apparently Kazuki can remember everything. Even though the show had previously stated that once he gets turned into a human, he won't remember anyone. But that's not even the worst part. The instant Kazuki comes back, he uses a spell to split him into 8 different Kazukis, so every girl has one Kazuki and the show doesn't have to write some way of him choosing a girl. Well, maybe the story's bad, but maybe it's held up by its characters. Well, then you're wrong as well, because every character is as bland as cookie cutter as every single harem anime there is. In fact, I would even argue that this is what made the formula for every harem anime character. We have every cliche, such as the tsundere, the childhood friend, and the overly sexualized senior. And like every single harem anime ever, we have Kazuki Shikimori, the bland main character with no personality whatsoever other than being nice. He's so nice to the point where he's just a straight up dumbass. Kazuki has no development whatsoever. Every single conflict he's ever in is either sorted by plot conveniences or his magic, so he never really learns his lesson when he gets into shit situations. With each time the show just blatantly destroys its own rules, it gives away a chance which could give Kazuki more character development. Otherwise he just learns nothing and is going to continue using his powers like a complete dumbass. Now Yuna. She feels like a goddamn Skyrim NPC. The only thing that's ever on her head is Kazuki. You can boil down every single line of dialogue to being she's either talking about how she wants to marry Kazuki, she's either really angry at Kazuki, or she's talking about being Kazuki's wife. It gets to the point where it's just so goddamn annoying that you want to blow her goddamn brains out. There's the exact same problem with Kuriko. She's always thinking of Kazuki and the only other lines of dialogue is basically her just trying to tempt Kazuki to have sex with her. And unlike Yuna, she has no other dialogue. There is no deeper character development here. Every episode she'll just pop in from nowhere and just ask Kazuki, hey, you want to have sex? That's basically all she ever does in the show. Now for our third and final heroine. And no, I'm not talking about the other girl. She was there for 3 episodes. We didn't get to see any character whatsoever, so we're just gonna skip her. Now we've got Ren, the one character that actually has development. During the start of the show, she isn't just thinking about Kazuki. As a matter of fact, she despises Kazuki at the start of the show, and she has actual conflict that has nothing to do with him, like her learning how to smile. But like all good things, it comes to an end, and halfway through the show, she changes completely and turns into a one-note character like all the others, and is basically Kazuki all of the time. And finally, the school nurse and his sister. His sister is introduced when Kazuki becomes a ghost. She wants to catch a Kazuki and make him part of her collection. Now, on first beat, this might not seem very bad at all. As a matter of fact, it started off as quite interesting. But you may notice that she contradicts herself almost every episode. She'll start off by trying to kidnap Kazuki, and then she'll say, I don't want to force you to be part of my collection. And this isn't in just one episode, this is in multiple. It gets fucking annoying. And now for our final character. This is the school's nurse. He is possibly one of the worst teachers ever. He gives away confidential information about Kazuki's genes, leading to the entire problem in the first place. He keeps dangerous poisons in student reach, and he also has magical creatures locked in his closet which could essentially demolish an entire military force. And when he's asked for help, he gives some bullshit like, I've used all my magical energy, which is also total bullshit because magic isn't based on energy in this world, it's based on spell count. Now, the animation in this show is so fucking lazy, you won't believe. Now, I know this show came out in 2003, but oh my god. They stretch things that don't need to be stretched, which makes for some really weird looking scenes. And the CG in the show is goddamn abhorrent. Also, look at this water. Like, come on. Did you really need to use CG for that? You could have just drawn some water and it would look 10 times better, but this just looks like fucking shit. Not to mention the audio quality from the show. From both the dub and the sub, it sounds like they're fucking phoning in from Vietnam. Not to mention that the audio mixing gets so bad at sometimes that I can't even hear what people are saying. Now, this wouldn't be so bad for a 2003 anime if the Blu-ray didn't cost fucking $500. Like, when I was reviewing this, I thought, you know, I might buy it, you know, I'm not gonna pirate it, but when I saw that price tag, I felt no remorse pirating this shit. It is not worth $500. I wouldn't even give them $2 for this shit. Now, it's time for the segment you all know and love. Yes, you know the one where I read the comments to see what you guys think of this show. This is going to be a little bit different because despite what you may think, I couldn't find many negative reviews for this show. Everyone who rated the show seemed like some type of enlightened being. They acted like the show was some type of fucking magnum opus, a never before seen show. But without further ado, let's just jump into the comments. We have our first one with this person calling it their first anime love. They said they've always been a fan of the live action film. Wait, what? There's a live action film? Holy shit, I need to watch that shit. But they basically go on to say how it changed their entire view of anime, and how it caused them to stop disliking it as a medium. We have this man who can barely speak any English telling us that it's his favorite anime ever. Then he basically just summarizes the plot. This person is saying that they watched the entire show on YouTube and it's not that bad, and it's really funny. This comment also goes as far as to call it the greatest anime ever, saying that it has perfect humor and is very well written. This person goes around and says that everyone who talks shit about the show is wrong, because it actually is a decent story and is really funny for a harem anime. And finally, someone I can disagree with, and the only negative comment I could find, was this person just saying that they're grateful it wasn't longer than 24 episodes. They even prompt you not to watch the show. And with that, that's all the comments I got. Now looking at that, I can see that the overall reaction to everything is positive. And unlike me, people actually seem to really enjoy this show. Now that's it, that's the end of my video, and for this I'm going to rate this show a 1 out of 10. Now if you see here, there is a list, and I'm going to put everything that I watch and review on this list now. So this will be for everything from anime, gaming, movies, whatever. So yeah, if you like the video, thanks for watching, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good shit, and goodbye.